Yo, what's good? It's Bear in the building. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Kueen Talk. If you are new here, welcome. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, leave a comment. Let us know what you think of this episode. Y'all, we got Trey Storm, who is a trans man located in LA. That LA city life right downtown. Welcome, Trey. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's not as nice, I'm sure, where you are. How's that weather right now?
Honestly, right now it's a little cold. We're supposed to get the rain in
Really?
like 2 days, which is kind of
What's a
weird.
little cold, Trey? What's a little cold?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. A little cold is like maybe like 50, 60. It's nothing compared to anywhere else, but
Right.
it's chilly. It's chilly to
Yeah.
us. So yeah.
No, that's for sure. I totally understand that. Are you from LA or did you just move to LA? Okay, so you're born and
Oh, yeah.
raised in LA.
Yeah, born and raised in LA though. I have lived other places, so I know our cold is nothing. But for us, it's something. But yeah, born and raised here. Yeah.
Oh, like that's a different lifestyle. Like LA, when you hear from like I'm a Midwest Kansas, right there in the center. We hear everything. We're late on everything, behind. But LA is like the first to know. Like how is it like growing up in LA? Like as a child, like in like you're living there. How was that?
That's a fantastic question. Honestly, I think when I look back on it now, a lot of stuff here, it just feels really fast paced. Growing up here, some of us like still have like, the same friends as like middle school, high school. And a lot of us, it's either you grew apart or something else happened and, you don't see everybody all the time. But I know that, a lot of people have a similar experience in other places, but a lot of things are kind of superficial here, which kind of sucks. Everybody's in a rat race to make it out here. So yeah.
It's like it's a different mindset though. Like I feel like here in the Midwest, people can have like a content mindset. It's like, oh, just go with the flow, go to work.
Yeah.
But in LA, it's like it's something different. It's like everyone's trying to grade, like in a sense, like trying to be the next thing, be the next influencer or whatnot. Like, how have you like tried to still like? How do you find the balance within that for yourself?
Honestly, it's been kind of weird. Because a lot of people move out here to do that, and a lot of us who are kind of already here, you got to find your own like new niche, so to speak. But I think for me, the biggest thing is just staying myself, just being true to who I am, and just sharing that with the world or whoever's listening or whoever's watching, and then also remembering to kind of pace myself a little bit. I feel like because of social media, a lot of us are kind of stuck in this race to like be the best or try and like push out content as much as you can so you can get to the most people and I guess whatever people's intentions are behind their content creation. And I know for me, I have a full-time job. I still make content. I still try and make time for friends, have a business also. So I'm always working, but I try and like have at least a day of like, all right, we're gonna chill. We still gonna do some stuff, but like we don't have to go as hard today. Like it'll be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, like it is, like you mentioned before, it's just like the fast pace of things. And also, like you said, the social media, seeing and scrolling and seeing what reality is versus fake. And I know you being in LA, you see like all the fake stuff behind a lot of it. Like when you look and you scroll, you think like, this is people just living their best life, whatnot. But a lot of them the camera goes off and it's a completely different story. And you mentioned a business. Speak a little bit on more about that. Like, what's your personal business?
Oh yeah. So I am in business with my husband. It is a beauty business. So curling irons, flat irons, lashes, lip gloss, chapstick, liners, freaking beauty sponges, and there's some new things coming out as well. But I do that with them. I freaking love it. I definitely call myself their number two because I like the back end of things. I am not at the forefront of it, but I'm in the background doing something. But we've been doing that together for I think a year, and then prior to that, they have been doing it for maybe like I want to say 2 years prior on their own. But yeah, that's
so
what it is.
So are you just like reselling products? Are you like getting these in? You have a website and you purchase these products from these beauty products, or like how does it work?
Actually, it's a mix of all of that. The The glosses and a few of the other products are actually handmade. We make them ourselves. So, vegan and cruelty free. Handmade, like you can watch us on live, sometimes actually making the glosses. The page is called at Just Chris Beauty, Just Chris with 2 S's. And yeah, so handmade stuff, personally packed, personally made, personally shipped out and sent out. Everything's made with love. So yeah, I think maybe obviously we don't make the beauty blenders. So I don't know how to do that. I don't think I'd want to mess with that if I could. Like certain products, like we don't make, but for the majority of it, it's handmade.
Awesome. And you
Yeah,
mentioned you do this with the husband. You said,
yeah, yeah,
okay, married, huh? How
yeah,
long you been
yeah.
married?
Honestly, since what are we in November? It's been a few months actually. Just
Okay,
a few
this is a
months.
fresh. This is
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's lit. Did you meet him in LA?
Yo. Yes. Weirdly enough, I had just moved back to LA from Connecticut. I lived out there for 6 years. I had moved back to LA. I wasn't looking for nothing. I just wanted to make friends. Not even gonna lie. No fronting here. I swear. I came back. I told my friends, I'm like, look, I'm gonna be by myself for a while. Whatever happens is what happens, but it is what it is. I have been looking for friends on like the apps too, which isn't always the best idea because people don't think you're serious when you say you're looking for friends and you're on an app. I was serious. So there was a lot of people kind of like, oh, you say that now, but that's not what you mean. I'm like, blocked. That's exactly what I mean. I want friends. So I was actually on Facebook dating. At the time, I think it was a new thing, or at least I hadn't seen it before. I just ran across their page and we just started talking, and then here we are, almost 5 years later. I'm happy.
You are now the second person that I have met and actually talked to that have a
Uh,
successful Facebook dating.
no
Well,
way.
they're engaged right now. They're about to get married.
Oh, that's
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, Facebook doing something. They doing something. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, we're gonna turn this to a dating website too. They don't ever want you to
Mm-hmm.
leave Facebook. That's tough
No,
though. Congratulations again.
thank you.
What does your wedding look like? Did you guys have like a small intimate wedding? Was it like a big wedding?
So we actually got married in Vegas. So it was something small with like a few friends. We're actually gonna have the like an actual like real ceremony and stuff next year in July on the 16th or 17th of next year. I got it written down somewhere, but the actual ceremony is next year. So
That's so. Got married in Vegas. What happens in
yeah,
Vegas? It didn't stay
they
in
don't always
Vegas.
stay in Vegas.
That's cool though. Like I've been in a relationship for a little bit now, so it's like it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited for it myself.
that's awesome.
It's been like a constant conversation, but I'm just like a perfectionist. Like I'm just like everything needs to be in the right way, and I don't want to overthink it. But I'm just like this is a special moment, so
Yeah,
it got to be a good one.
I
What
feel that.
did you ask, or did he ask, or did you both ask, or how did that work out for you guys?
Honestly, a mix of both. We in May of no March of like it's a year and a half ago or maybe like 2 years ago. We were living out here in LA and we were going to move to Vegas actually, but I wanted to do it. His friends and family were there. My friends and family could be there, so I proposed to them at a restaurant before we had moved to Vegas, like maybe like the week or so before. I was like, nah, like I gotta figure this out and get everybody together. Let me tell you, the amount of planning and like I feel like scheming on the low to try and
Right.
surprise somebody and get everybody together is some work. And to make sure they don't know or have any idea, but still like dress the way that they'd want to be dressed for the occasion
Yeah.
is something special. But
Did you
it
pull it
went really
off?
good.
Did you pull it off?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah. See, I
Yeah.
don't think I'm gonna pull it off. I really don't think so. Just because my partner is so nosy. Like she is
Yeah.
so nosy. Like if anything's off, she has a suspicion. Like she reads it. I'm just like, okay.
I think we could do it.
I'm gonna
But
try. I'm definitely gonna try
yeah.
as much as I can. But we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you updated on that to let you
Thank
know.
you.
When
Yes.
it comes to
Please.
you moving around, where else have you ventured off to besides LA?
So I did. I lived in Connecticut for 5 years. I moved back to LA, and then I lived in Vegas for 1 year, and then Henderson another year, and then back to LA. Yeah.
What brought you to took you to those places?
So for Connecticut, I moved out there. I went to school out there for 3 years.
For what?
I got sick. So I went to, well, I don't care. My whole school knows who I am. I went to Connecticut College for sociology. I wanted to be a social major, and my third year I got really sick, so I took off for medical leave, and then COVID hit. So I ended up staying out there. I found a really good job there. Met some cool people. So I stayed out there for 2 more years, and then I moved back to LA for family. Some stuff had went down out there. I needed to come back home. So I came back home and stayed with some family. Actually, I went on like a tour of meeting some family that I had never met in person before. So I saw that as my opportunity to travel around a little bit in Cali and see some people and see bits of California I had never seen before.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's great. Like there's so much to explore in California. Like,
Mm-hmm.
is LA like where you grew up? Like it is LA?
Yes. Yes.
Wow, in the city.
Yeah, because there's people I meet. They're like, they say they're from LA and they're from up in the valley. I'm like, that's not the same thing. I'm
Yeah,
so sorry.
that's like an out. Yeah, it is different. That is different. So you went to the city high school, the city middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Damn,
And the
like
elementary and then everything. Yeah. Yeah.
man, that's dope because I feel like I'm such a slow like I said, the pace is so different with
Yeah.
like the slow pace versus LA, like that fast paced life. Do you feel like you said like earlier that you try to like slow down and find the balance or whatnot? And
Mm-hmm.
obviously you have a job. Like what was your upbringing like growing up there? Like mom or
Um,
dad,
yeah, honestly, I was a, what do you call it? I was
grandma? Shit, that was me. I say with my
nah,
grandma.
yeah, growing up, it was different because I had a lot more family around me. So I still had like my great grandparents around, and I was I forget the word, but I was a child that was split between both of their parents very often. So like the weekends I was with my dad and like my grandma on that side. During the week I was with my mom and then my family on that side. So I was definitely split up a lot as a kid, and it got tiring after a while, but I mean, I had attention, so I guess I was fine. Like,
He said, "I
it's
got
fine.
attention."
Yeah, and I wasn't really a kid who ever wanted anything either. I was pretty chill. Like I wanted to be outside in the backyard with my skateboard. That's it. I could go play with the neighbors when I'm over here. Fantastic. When I'm at home with my mom, I'm in my room playing video games. All right, it's fine. It's cool. So that's really what it was like for me. I think I couldn't really hang out with my friends and stuff a lot as I got older. Because my mom was really protective. Like I was the kid who had to be inside at 7 p.m. Even though that's when everybody's going out. It was a little sheltered, just a little
Okay.
bit.
Yeah, because I was thinking that too, just with that lifestyle in LA, and I've
Mm-hmm.
only seen it as an adult. So I'm like, as a child, what does that look like? Because
Do
it is like a city adult life that I see, and it's
Mm-hmm.
very expensive in LA specifically. So
Oh
it's
yeah.
like just as a kid, what activities were you in sports? Did you do all those
Um,
activities, or did you just
no, as a kid, like again, it did depend on who I was with. I did try to get into sports. I played basketball for like a year. Honestly, out here it's just hustle culture. Everybody has more than one job, and if you don't, you got roommates or like you're living with some people or something to kind of offset what you're not, what you don't have, maybe. Or you're living in a certain area that you can, I guess, kind of maybe afford a little bit better with whatever you got. So growing up, I say I was kind of split because my parents were always working. So my mom has always worked graveyard, and like um my dad would like have different kind of like hours because he would work in like hospitals and stuff. So I mean, I would get to see both my parents for sure because of that, and like even though we lived separately, um I would see them, but tired. They would be tired. I would see it. I would know why, but it's a rat race to kind of survive out here because of how fast paced it is and how expensive it is. Over the years, it's definitely gotten more expensive. And as an adult, oh my God, I would have preferred it to be kind of the same prices that I heard growing up. But now it is twice that, especially if you want to live like inner LA, like even where I'm at downtown is crazy. Um,
Do you foresee yourself being there, staying in that fast paced life, or have you thought about leaving again and going somewhere else?
I'm not gonna lie, I do miss Vegas.
Yeah.
I do,
You just like the
especially
fast pace because
Henderson.
Vegas is still fast paced. I mean, to me at
Nah.
least.
Well, Vegas, yes and no, but like when you venture a little further out, like maybe like 30 or 40 minutes outside of actual Las Vegas, like
Yeah.
my second year living in Henderson, it was chill. Like it wasn't as fast paced because the closer you are to the strip, yeah, it's a party scene and stuff, but most of the people that live there don't live like that. And I have like a few bros and stuff that still live out there, and they're not living like as fast as it seems, but I do understand what you're saying because I did get to visit the Midwest. I went out to Springfield, Illinois earlier this year for a friend's wedding, and like, dang, like this is a huge difference from LA to there, and it felt very nice. I would love to move somewhere like that, but my husband don't do bugs, and we saw some huge ass bugs out there, so I don't know about that. But
Yeah. Yeah. And
well, we'll
like
see.
the Midwest versus the LA culture wise,
Hmm.
completely different. What was your experience like? Like, did you see a lot of representation being in LA of like queer people, or still like being there? You just,
Yeah. There is a lot of representation here. Um, Honestly, I'm a person who likes to walk around. All my life, I've been told not to walk around in these streets. I know better. I know that, but I do it anyway because I have to walk somewhere sometimes. And like here, there's a lot of homelessness here. There is a lot of drug abuse out here and stuff like that. So I do see that all the time, and I try to volunteer and stuff where I can. But I know that just me is not going to change the world out here, unfortunately. In terms of representation, we have the LGBT Center out here. That's actually somewhere that I go to see the doctor. I don't go nowhere else because I don't trust no other doctor. I've had my share of trying to just go to a regular doctor, and educating your doctor is one of the most tiring things that you could ever do. I don't want to do that no more. So the LGBT centers out here, the wellness centers out here are really good. Unfortunately, sometimes they're really packed too because all of us are trying to go there. But there's a lot of trans people here. There's a lot of gay people here. There's a lot of anybody in between who doesn't fit necessarily in those boxes, but we're all here.
yeah.
There's a lot of POC out here. Like we here in numbers for sure.
Yes, that is for sure. That's for sure.
Hmm.
My first experience in WeHo,
Yeah. I used
it
to live
was
out there.
man, lucky you.
Hmm. I was down the street and I could just walk down to all the bars. Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a different vibe.
Hmm.
Like here in where I'm from, like there's not a bar that I can go to in my town that I'll ever experience anything like that where WeHo
Yeah.
is.
Hmm.
And it sucks. Like that's what I'm like, I'm trying to create that here. Like I'm trying to build something because I know like when I experience that, like it would be
Yeah.
nice to experience that all the time. Like not when I have to go across the states just
Hmm.
to get that feeling. And with you, like you said, like the clinics and the organizations that they have in LA specifically,
Yeah.
it is very inclusive. It is
Hmm.
very ahead of the time. Do you feel like that also keeps you there because of like all the diversity and all the resources that you're able to have right now?
I would say I think so. But I've also been a person who has been a resource for other people. So I know like before I started my journey, I was like, it was research. And I had started to try and like make my own website to share that with other people and like try and connect people in like different states and stuff to resources in their state. Especially at the time, 2016 was also a different time, and I feel like we were a lot of us were scrambling for resources because we didn't know if they'd still be there or not. So I think I've personally, and I always tell my friends this, I've never been tied to a place because I'll find whatever is there, like I'll figure it out. But being here, and I think being able to see representation does make things feel a little bit better, a little lighter, because you're not necessarily here alone and you can build community. Like you can go outside, maybe do a little walk, go to WeHo, you can make a friend
Mhm.
who might have somewhat of a similar background or something like that. But I know because of my upbringing, also, I've been able to make friends online. And, thank God to social media
Yeah.
because I was a part of a vlog and it was like guys, on hormones or starting hormones or whatever, and we were in different places of the world, but we were able to build community like that. So being able to build community, in person is great too, but social media has also made a way to create that also.
Most definitely. And you are on TikTok and you like spread awareness. You're very visible out there.
Mhm.
What do you think gave you the courage to be this resource for others, to be visible and out here in the way that you are?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think because growing up, it's funny because I just talked about this with somebody too. Growing up, I've always been the kid who like, I don't want nothing. I just want you to listen to me a little bit. Like I want to just bounce some ideas off you. I want some love and support. I don't want nothing else. I don't need no toy. I don't need no money. Just like hear me out. And I feel like in my life so far, I've been that for other people. And there's something that feels really good about being able to give people unbridled love and support. Like, I don't need nothing from you, babe. Like, I'll listen to you. I got you. You need somebody to be there. I got you. You can call me or whatever. I've always really lived off of that. Like, I love that. So any way that I can help people, I'll do it. Any way that I could be a support, I'll do it. Like, I don't even need to know you. You could ask me for something right now. I'd figure it out. I give it to you. Whatever. And I think because I didn't really have a lot of that, I always want to give it to people because it's free. And you never know what kind of a difference that'll make for somebody else. And I love that. So,
Yeah, you just answered it. You said you didn't have a lot of that. Like, what was your support growing up? What did that look like in your journey?
My friends at school, for sure. I could only really like hang out with them most of the time at school. So they were like huge to have them. And then when I was finally able to participate in some clubs, like one or two of the schools I went to, we didn't have clubs or anything like that. And if there was an after school program, I couldn't do it. So my last high school, we had the Gay Straight Alliance, and then we had Black Student Union, and that was during school hours. And I was like, awesome. I could participate. I could do something. That was my support. And then I would say, not to rag on my parents, but like they would listen, but in their own parent kind of way. Well, I hear what you're saying, but like we're not digging no deeper into what you're talking about. It's like I heard you. And I think that extra level of kind of like listening, but also being able to provide support after that is that extra layer that I think I needed. But I kind of got it from my friends. It was just you can't do a lot at a certain age, so but
Yeah.
they were there.
You mentioned too, really, I didn't have a Black student union in my school that I went to. I was the only Black woman in my graduating class. The school that I went
Wow.
to, yeah, it was very white. But the GSA, we didn't even have that in my high school either.
What?
It's starting to, it's become now. There's more GSAs like
Mm-hmm.
in the schools of Wichita specifically, and there actually
Okay.
is one at El Dorado too. But they're also just like pushback on certain things when it comes to GSA, and I think like it
Mm-hmm.
is important for to us to have those resources still in school because as you mentioned, it was a safe space for you during
Yeah.
those times because you were very sheltered, like you mentioned before, like you weren't able to like go outside, but you found that connection and you're able to talk to people while you're at school. So I think that's really important to just like point out like as to
Mm-hmm.
why those are still needed in the school to have that
Mm-hmm.
support and why the support in schools are needed.
Yeah. We had pushback there for sure too. I'm not gonna lie, my school was on the news. We were on the news.
Really?
Yeah, they had when we had started GSA there. I think it was my last year going there for high school, and a lot of I believe churches had found out about it nearby, and we made the news because we were the first school in our district to integrate gender neutral bathrooms and GSA. When I tell you there were 4 pastors outside of my school one day, they had to lock us in because we were out there fighting back. It was bad, but
Wow.
it was something. They was
Wow. I don't feel like that's the
yeah.
pastor's role.
It's not, especially not yelling obscenities at children. It's
Yeah.
not. But
Well, that's good for your school
yeah.
for being like progressive and doing that. Like LA is so ahead. Like I think that's so dope. I appreciate that. I had someone on a guest
Come
say
on
that
now.
like the Civil War didn't really end. You know, we still have our own little pockets and our own little laws and regulations. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
Cali,
Out
it's
fighting.
yeah. It's definitely ahead of the time. And growing up, you mentioned that was like a time that you were able to be yourself. Like, were you out then? Were you still not dating anybody, or was it after high school that you're like, okay, I'm gonna fully embrace this? Or when did that start to happen?
A good mix of all of that in school. So I'm gonna shorten this story. In high school, I was, I I don't know what kind of, I guess, box to check for myself in high school, but like I was very like very tomboyish in school. I did have a girlfriend, and my parents did not know about it. It was that kind of deal. Nobody knows. It's fine. No. But I did, and I did come out to my parents like twice. So I did tell them I was gay at the time. I got a girlfriend. It is what it is. Whatever. There was pushback there, but I still got a life to live. So whatever.
What was the pushback, and how did you
Well,
tell them?
one, yeah. So I guess the first time I came out when I was a young lady, I guess if you will, I guess that's how I say it. Now prior to my transition, when I came out and I told my parents, I told my mom, well, I had already had a girlfriend at the time, so I was like, well, I just told her, I was like, well, I have a girlfriend. I mean, I know you told me I couldn't have one, but I've already been dating them for a while, so I feel like I should tell you. My mother was not happy. The pushback was, well, one, you're not supposed to be dating anybody. And two, you're gay? Like, it was like, what the hell? But it wasn't too bad. But when I came out again as trans, that I think wasn't something that I guess anybody was prepared for, except for one person in my family. Love them to death. My great aunt. When I told her, honestly, prior to that, like the majority of my life, like middle school and high school growing up, she was always asking, so like, you got a boyfriend yet? No. Okay. And I would see this look on her face, and I'm like, there's something under that we haven't talked about, but all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I came out to my mom on accident as trans. I had just taken school photos, and I was a part of a college program too that come comes around to some of the lower income underprivileged schools in the community. Like, it's a application process and a whole bunch of stuff, but I was able to get into it, and I was very grateful for them. So I'm signing the backs of photos, and randomly at the time, I wasn't even going by my birth name. I was going by my name, Snap. I got SNAP. That's what everybody called me. That's what you knew me as. That's what it was. But on the back of the pictures, I was signing it Trey. I have no idea where it came from. I have no clue to this day. I just know I was signing it as Trey. And I looked at it and I was like, all right, it's cool. Whatever, we're gonna leave it here. I left it on my dresser, not thinking that my mom is probably gonna look in my room, because that's what black moms do. I don't. It's her house. I don't. This is my room in her house. So whatever. She called me randomly at school and was like, "Who is Trey?" And I'm looking at my friends. I'm like, "Oh shit, I forgot." All right, I guess I'm telling her. I had waited till I got out of school and had the conversation, and she was crying and stuff. She was like, "What are you talking about?" I had told my friends, sorry, I'm jumping ahead, but I told my friends in school that day. They said, "We know." And I said, "How come you didn't tell me?" And they said, "Because you have to figure it out on your own." I said, "Okay, whatever." Still kind of mad about that to this day, but I appreciate it. It's fine. They knew I was trans. I guess I was fighting. I don't know. I don't know where my head was, but I was like, well, it's fine. But my mom, I showed her like pictures of people at the time that I kind of not necessarily looked up to, but they were my sources of representation. So like Leif Ashley, Janet Mock, and a few other people. Like I had showed, and Amaya Scott, love her down. So I had showed pictures of all of these people to my mom, and I'm like, well, this is me. Like, I am them. We are the same. We are the same. Like, I said it like that, and she's crying and stuff, and she was telling me, God made you who you are, and God doesn't make mistakes and stuff. And I love my mom down. She don't talk about God that much. So I was like, this is hard for you, understand, but I still have to do what I'm going to do, so I to be comfortable and to live my life. I'm saying it like it was easy. This was not an easy experience, but I can say it like this now. And I think I was really depressed at the time too, because of how I was feeling, and I didn't know how to tell my mom or my dad. When I told him, like, I was crying and stuff. Like, it was a lot to tell your parents that, I guess, knowing that, well, at least now, knowing that your parents have this idea of what your life is going to look like, or they're making a plan for your life as you're growing up. Um, and then you sharing with them things that didn't fit within
Mhm.
their plans for you, like really shakes them up. So I guess me telling my dad, this man hung up on me. Not gonna lie, not gonna sugarcoat it. He hung the phone up on me. I was crying and everything. I was telling him how I felt. And I tried telling him twice in person. He walked away from me. On the phone, he hung up on me. And I have not talked to him. I've talked to him like sporadically, but right now I have not talked to him in a few years. And I was actually thinking about calling him today because it's his birthday, and he did reach out to me a few days ago. Well, yeah, so there's a lot of layers to that. I feel like I could talk about this for a while. Sorry,
No,
but
you're
yeah,
good. You're good.
yeah,
I'm curious. I'm sorry that your parents walked away on the conversation too. I think
it's all right.
like this is like educational, like for parents too. Like I want people to listen to this and know, like, okay, so if your child comes up to you and expresses these emotions, the first thing you do is
Maybe
not
don't
walk
leave.
away. Like
Yeah,
that's not the first thing you do. I understand, like, this is something, like you said, they didn't think this for your life, but this is your life. You have to
yeah.
live this life. You have to be comfortable with who you are and how you navigate. I think, like I see in a lot of your videos, you still are like, I appreciate these people. Like I like you still give a lot of these people grace, who have not supported you in your journey. Why do you feel like it's important for you to continue to say, like, I still support these, because you say it often, like, I still want these people to know. Why do you feel like that's important for you to share that?
Because I think at the end of the day, unfortunately, you don't know who, like, you have no idea who's talking ill of you right now. Like, and I know in my heart someone is, but I think for me, I'm saying it, like, when I say that, I'm saying it more for myself because honestly, if you're talking mess about me right now, I don't care, still love you. It is what it is. And I move on because one of my biggest fears growing up, and when I was super depressed and stuff, like for a while, I didn't want to be here. I didn't like I used to cut and like some other stuff. So I apologize. I know it might not be completely PG-13, but um, I know for a while I I didn't have a purpose. I couldn't be myself if I couldn't be comfortable in my skin. And I think because I've reached that place where like, no, I want to be here. Like there's things that I want to do. There's people I want to meet. There's places I want to go see. There's no room for anything but love here because I'm chilling. Hey, if you need help, I'll help you. It don't matter. If you need a friend for a second, I got an ear. I got you. And a lot of people ask me that all the time, like, why are you so positive? Because honestly, at the end of the day, we would have a better world if we could just live and find our purpose and just share peace with everybody. Like we'd be all right. So at the end of the day, I feel like the people who uh are treating others with anything other than respect or love, like, y'all need the most love. So I'm gonna give it to you. Like you gonna get it if I have to force feed it to you, because I'm chilling. I'm
Mhm.
good. I'm happy.
And
So let's get you there. I
yeah,
don't know.
I think it is important for yourself specifically. I think
hmm
when I have to remind myself of my why a lot. Like I literally, like doing this, I do it with a lot of intention. Queer people of
hmm
color, I'm really
hmm
trying to, like, my why is growing up. Like I said, I was the only Black woman in my graduating class. The queer community was not seen. Finding that representation for me was scarce.
Yeah.
So, creating spaces like this, creating communities that we can build and grow together, I think is important,
Yeah.
because it's like we are our biggest supporters, like for ourselves, but like we have to find that for us. Like, there's not a lot of people helping us trying to get that support. So I think, thank you, and like for doing what you do, is like being that support, that resource for other people, because it's important to
Yeah.
have, because they are literally silencing and trying to erase the community. And I think it's important for the pockets of us to still continue to push, because otherwise, like, it will just get silenced, and you not allowing the hatred and being just walked away on, like, affect you. Of course it's affecting you, right? Like it's
hmm
affecting you, but just like living through it.
hmm
You're married now, you gotta live life.
Yeah.
I think it's important, because even if you didn't transition, it's like, where would you be? Like, you miserable. I think living in your truth it's not miserable. I think It does get better. It gets better for sure.
Yes, just held on for a while. Yeah. And shoot, thank you. Like honestly, when you reached out, yo, I was spinning in circles. I was like, wait a minute. And I started going through your page. I was watching the videos. I'm like, me? Okay. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. But yeah, no, thank you for also like being a light in the community and doing what you're doing, regardless of like what you might be experiencing that you might not share with everybody. Like it means a lot. So thank you. Your energy is just amazing, and the work that you're doing is amazing. So thank
Yeah.
you for creating those spaces where you are, and I hope that it just continues to grow from here
Yeah.
because it's needed.
I appreciate that. And it definitely is needed. As I'm creating this space, I'm like curating events and I'm like reaching out to people, finding a queer DJ here in the Midwest
Ooh, yeah.
is hard. It's
Mm-hmm.
literally has been so hard. If you're listening to this right now and you are a queer person of color DJ and you would like to be a part of events here in Wichita, please reach out to me. I reached out to a few DJs here in town and tell them what Kueen Talk is, tell them that, and it's just like they don't like. I literally, this person said, I was like, hey, I see that you're a DJ. I have this event coming up. This is what
Mm-hmm.
Kueen Talk is. I would love. Is this something that you're interested in? And I asked them, like, what kind of DJ do you think you like? They hit me back. They're like, yeah, I'm an R&B. Like I can throw some hip hop in there. And I was like, cool. I would love to have you as a DJ. They're like, oh, can you remind me again what this is for? So I reminding them again of what I already said in the beginning, because I start with that because it's like I don't want to waste some time. So I
Uh-huh.
so I repeated what it is. I was like, Kueen Talk is this event, da 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 da, and then they hit me back with, I actually have, I'm moving that weekend. I hope you can respect that. So then I commented back and I was like,
Dude.
hey, totally understand. Just for future, are you a part of the community or are you an ally? Because I'm constantly looking for DJs. And then they said, no, I am not. And I was just like, okay, thanks.
It
Because I
wasted
was
your
like,
time.
I'm like you, and I was like, the no, I am not. Like I was like talking to my partner. I was like, that was so hurtful. Like,
Mm-hmm.
kudos to you for being honest, straight up. You should have just started with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, man, as a Black woman who's coming to me and saying that you are not an ally of this
Yeah.
community, I was just like, what the fuck? How? Like, you as a Black
Mm-hmm.
woman, you see a marginalized group within a marginalized group, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I am not. And you're getting paid. Like, it wasn't like you weren't getting paid. So it was just like, okay,
Yep.
like, I really don't understand. Like, I don't get that. I don't get that.
Mm-mm.
For you being in LA, do you feel like you have seen, like, do you, like, so for me, so I bring that up
Mm-hmm.
because, like, as a queer person of color, when I enter, like, the queer spaces here in town, it's very white. Like, so it's like, I
Oh
still
yeah.
don't feel that. So, but when I enter, like, the black spaces here in town, that's the energy that, like, I feel. It's not said all the time, but, like, you just, like, feel it sometimes. When you are
Mm-hmm.
in LA, how do you feel in spaces with queer people versus just like Black people in your experience?
Honestly, I feel like it depends on who's there. Because I will say, I did live in WeHo. I was down
Right.
the street from some of the bars, but being there on a fully white night of queers is different than a mix of us, and I think it's very different in Black spaces. Fortunately, even here, there is this, it feels like this like line of separating people. Like, okay, well, if you're going to be in this space, you can only be Black. You can't be Black and whatever else you got going on. Like, we're just Black. We're just fighting for this one thing right now. So I've experienced that too. And it really, it does hurt because I'm like, I'm still Black. So like,
Right.
what's, what is it? I'm
Right.
not doing anything to you. I'm just existing. This is how I live my life. Like,
Right.
it's
Don't
not
you
hurting
get it?
anybody.
Don't you get it?
No. Mm-mm. Like there was this one time, I was in an Uber and it was this Black guy. His name was, oh my goodness, he had a Bible name too. It was, oh my God. But it was Black man. He was a little hood. And we were just randomly talking, because he had the news on. Never put the news on in an Uber. No, that's a no. No.
That's so true. Who wants to listen to
Like,
that?
no. But we were listening to it, and it was around the time the Orange Man was in office the first time. Um, they were talking about what they were talking about earlier this week about gay marriage, and then they were talking about they were trying to take away some rights. Seems to be his goal here. And I was telling the Uber driver, I was like, well, at the end of the day, there are people who are gay and black. And he was like, no, we can only fight for like one cause at a time. Like, it's just one cause at a time. So like, we can only fight for black rights now. And I was like, but we're black and we're gay and we're black and we're straight and we're black and we're all of these things. Like, black people aren't just one thing either. Like, that
Right.
doesn't make sense. And he was like, well, no, like, we have to put all of our people into one cause at one time. And I'm like, we've never done that. So what are you talking about? Like, we've always fought for everything that we encompass. Like, that doesn't make sense. And I almost walked. I would have been okay walking that day. But just people's mindset, I don't think they really understand what they're saying. I feel like a lot of people who are on that front of, well, no, I don't support you. We're black. So what about me do you support? The other
Right.
things that have nothing to do with you?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
we just be black and be good. But there's a lot of that here. So
Yeah, that's
what can you do?
it is just like a culture, like it's a worldwide thing when it comes to that. Yeah, I feel that. I just still think that comment still bothers me. Like, I'm like, fuck. For one, I'm still trying to find a DJ. But I'm just like, what the? Because I definitely didn't want to ask. Like, I was intentional. I was like, definitely not a black man. Like, I'm not gonna ask this straight black man into the space. Like, it's not. I've done it before. Last year when I did the event, I got the same comments. I was like, all right, let me try a black woman. It's like I just see it and I was like, yeah, let's do this. And nah, but we gonna find one. We're gonna find one. It's okay. I was like, shit, y'all gonna make me go to a DJing class and fucking be like, fuck it. I'm gonna do it my fucking self. Shit. Hey. Never thought, but I was like, shit, this is scarce. If it ain't me, if you ever thought about being a DJ and you're a queer person of color, there is a lane for you in the Midwest for sure.
Absolutely.
But you mentioned something in that Uber car that I thought of, and it's just like, if someone were to look at you, you would not say, oh, this is a trans man. So it's like you might be in a lot of spaces to where you do hear things or people are saying things against the community and they don't even know you're a part of the community. How does that, and even just like feeling safe around females, like females might not feel safe around you. So like, what is that like navigating? How do you navigate that?
It's been an interesting journey, more specifically to being around women. Like, I navigating this new space for almost well, it's not new anymore, for almost like 9 years. I am somebody who, if I see a woman walking, I'm probably gonna cross the street, just because I remember what that felt like. And I'm like, I mean, I'm fine, I ain't gonna do nothing to you, but like, might feel like, so, and if I don't cross the street, I might say hi or something. But depending on where I am, like, oh my God, I will put a little gay on just to show you, just a tad bit of safety. I will, when it comes to women. I'm not even gonna lie. But outside of that, being in other spaces where people don't know, honestly, somewhere where I work right now, if they knew, I probably would not feel safe. But because I am on social media, because I've always put myself out there, honestly, when I walk out the door, I probably have already put a target on my back, and I know that. So I've kind of accepted that. But I spend a lot of my day correcting people when it comes down to the community, and when it comes down to women too, because there's a lot of like internalized misogyny that I think is a really big problem. But it always, like, as soon as I open my mouth, it sparks so many different conversations that I have to. I can't let it rock. So, but in turn, that has also made me a good person to speak to everybody. And people tend to probe and ask me more questions, trying to figure out, well, why do you think like that? I'm like, well, because I ask questions and I just know, like, it's just me, it's my little superpower, I guess. So yeah.
So you it's not something like you said on TikTok, you're very like open, you speak about it a lot, but like in your private world, that's not something that you're like always speaking about and stuff like that.
I'll speak up, but I won't out myself. Depending
Yeah.
on where I am, like the workplace. Oh, absolutely not. I
Yeah.
want to go to work. I'll still have like in conversation if something comes up, I'll correct somebody immediately. But in terms of speaking about myself, I still share about myself, but you only so much. You don't need
Yeah.
to know everything.
Yeah. I feel like that's in
And
general. I'm like, but
yeah.
I'm just like, there's this guy, there's some people that I vibe with at work, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
my work self and my at home self are kind of the same, but they're two different people. It's like when
Yes.
I'm at
Yeah.
work, it's very a switch. Whereas when I'm at
Mm-hmm.
home, it's like, okay, especially the setting that I work with, this guy, he was like, yeah, if you ever want to get some drinks and stuff after work, he was like, why don't we ever do that as a group? And I was like, thinking to myself, I
Nah.
was like, there's some people here that I just like, I know I wouldn't vibe with outside of this work, but you
Mm-hmm.
specifically, I would. Like you
Yep.
cool. I would vibe with you, but I like that's just not something I tell people, but they also know that I'm a part of the community because when I open up my laptop, there's a whole bunch of stickers on there that clearly says like
Yes.
I'm a safe space. And I do that intentionally because I like well in any space that I go, I like it's for one, it's hard to hide for me. I'm very much stud presenting. So I don't hide it in that way, but also just
Yeah.
like when I'm at work or at a coffee shop or whatnot, I have come to a place in my life where it's like I don't want to have to hide any of me specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like that's not the same for like my partner. My partner completely private, like, and I'm okay with that. Like she's a very private person, and like we just had this conversation because I was like, I just came to this point probably
Mm-hmm.
like a few years ago. Like this, like, and my personal spaces, yes, like I would, this is who I am, but just like as a whole, 100% of anywhere I go, like whether it's in white spaces being black, queer spaces being black, or black spaces being queer, like you are going to know who I am and what I represent in every space that I go to now. And I
Yes.
think that happened just because I realized the spaces that I had been in didn't really know who I was. I didn't speak up enough. I was like, okay, that's not really me, or you think of this community because I haven't been speaking up enough, or maybe I haven't given you the right representation of who I am. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I need to change some things. I need to do that. And so now it's great. It's great because I'm actually like connecting with other queer people of color too. It also kept me where I was when I didn't
Mm-hmm.
speak up. So it's like if I didn't get to where I was, and I wouldn't have a group of people now to be able to express myself to. And I think it's important because our conversations that we have are just different than when we have them
Yes.
with other people. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's like we get
The
it
streets.
100%. Like the vlog that you mentioned that you guys created, like that's a dope experience. You guys are all living in an experience that you guys are living together and you're navigating it as one. Where was this on TikTok? Was this on
No, this was pre TikTok. This was on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah.
that's a LA. See, LA's ahead of the time. They're still on YouTube vlogging. They were doing it
No, it
all.
was like the person who actually started it, he's actually from the Midwest.
Really?
And that's actually the wedding that I went to. Honestly, we did that in like 2015, 2016, and I made a friend and I
Yeah.
went to his wedding like earlier this year. So, but no, he's in Illinois.
Yes.
And he started it, and then it was me who at the time I was in Cali, and then I was still doing it when I moved to Connecticut. There were some people from Tennessee. There were some people from all over the place. I'm grateful to him for bringing us together for sure, because some of us still talk,
Yeah,
and we've met in person.
that's cool.
So
How did you meet through YouTube back in 2016? Was it MySpace?
Instagram.
Instagram?
Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. It
Okay.
was Instagram. Yeah. Yeah, it was
Nice.
crazy.
That's dope.
Right.
That's dope. I
Yeah.
like again, shout out to social media. Like
Yes. Yes.
shout out to social media. I started telling people I need to like have a different branch other than like the social media and stuff because as we know, like if it goes away, how are we all gonna stay
Yeah.
like connected? So I'm like
No,
need to
phone
create a different
numbers.
Avenue, different avenue. What's something or advice that you may have for other people navigating this life as a trans man, because that is your experience?
Honestly, don't give up. It does get easier. I know there's a lot of young trans people right now who are under the age of 18. And honestly, when you turn 18, that's when you can start, you know, speaking to a doctor on your own and advocating for yourself in spaces that they'll take you a little bit more seriously. Never stop being your own advocate. At the end of the day, I am where I am today because I fought for myself, not necessarily because I always had help. And sometimes it'd be like that. But if you can't fight for yourself, don't expect anybody else to, because it's your life. You have to push yourself, regardless of how hard it is. Definitely, I've had some tears. You know, I've had some wails. But I'm here now. So
Yes, you are
yeah,
here now, and I'm thankful for it, Trey. Like I said, like you've come through a journey. It hasn't been easy for you. People have literally walked away from you and not giving you the respect. And just as someone's child, as I'm glad your friends were there. You had the support of the
yeah,
GSA and the Black Student Union that you did, and the resources in LA. Like, think, and I said it earlier, but be proud of yourself because you are creating that resource for other people. You are being a support for other people. It doesn't come easy. It doesn't come easy. You know it's hard because you're still navigating, trying to deal with it yourself, but also you see the importance of it, and you see that, like you said, it gets easier, and you stay true to yourself. So I think that's important. And you're living your truth now, and you got that husband.
yeah.
Where's the ring? Where's the ring?
Yo, I see this in the bathroom. I'm so mad. I have put lotion on my hands, and I came in here and I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
You in the house. It's all good. You in the house. You in
Yeah,
the house. When you get outside,
it's there.
you
It's
gotta have
there.
that ring on. But yeah, congratulations
Yeah,
again on that marriage.
thank you. And I want an update when we
I'll give
get
you
there. I want an update for
I
sure.
got you. I
I want
got
that.
you. I got you an update. I
Yeah,
can't say too much right now, but I got you. I got you.
that's all right.
I got you.
Yeah.
Y'all, let us know what you think of this episode. It's been a great one. Trey being vulnerable, letting us inside his world just for a little bit, understanding his story. I want you guys to take away a few things, specifically the GSA, just the importance of having those clubs in a school and what that can do for the youth, and the importance of having supportive family and what that can do. And make sure you guys are being support systems for other people. If you can find the resources for someone, if you can show someone that you're an ally and support, it goes a long way. So just make sure you're being that. And remember, if you have not already, make sure to check out queentalk.com, get yourself some merch, all that good stuff. But as always, family, friends, strangers, love and be nice.